we're going to prepare for trading the Tokyo session today. We're coming close to the end of the New York session, and as you can see by looking at the primary currency today, which is of interest, which is the Japanese yen, you can see that we are having a big reversal in the yen. There is a lot of selling coming into the yen across the board. You can see that in the dollar yen. You can see it also in the pound yen, and we have talked in the previous video of this morning that our buying point was the 129.93. so now we are already 100 pips above our buying point from this morning. Even the euro, with the weakness that we have in the euro in general, the euro is already, as you can see, over 60 pips higher. So if we're going to go and see the chart, and this is the chart of the euro, so even with that kind of a reversal and that kind of move in the New York session, the euro is still the weakest of all the crosses versus the yen. The yen is being sold across the board, and the traders are chasing or trying to find an opportunity to sell the yen and buy a different currency in exchange. So even though as I said, the euro is the weakest of them all, but since the selling is coming into the yen, the euro is being bought. We have to plan our trades getting into, as I said, into the Tokyo session, and in doing so we need to look at the intraday charts to identify the strongest pair. So if we start looking first at the euro, yes, we do have this upward move, but we do not yet have a trend change. The trend as it sticks right now with the euro is still to the downside. It might be a buy candidate, but it's going to be the one with the least probability. So we have to be, or it's going to be not the first choice. The first choice would be either the British pound or the so we're going to be looking at buying the pound yen or the dollar yen. And if you look at the radar screen, you could see that the pound yen has made about a 50 pip move on today's trade. The dollar had about 15 pips, so it's not as strong as the Aussie yen, and the euro has also a 50 or a 54 pip move. The CAD amazingly has a 56-57 pip move. The Swiss had about 31 pip move. So as you can see by looking at the radar screen, that all the yen pairs, what I have done is that I created a section in the radar screen, our radar screen, and I put all the yen pairs for you so that you can see. And I want you to look at the movement that we had today in the most of the yen pairs. The strongest is the pound yen. We had about 56-57 pips, similar pretty much to the euro. Then you can see, even though with the selling that's coming into the Swiss, we still had a 32 pips, and even the Canadian, you got 58. So the idea is, when we put this together, and that's one of the powers of our radar screen, is that we can visualize and I can identify strength or weakness. So coming now, we're getting close to the end of the New York session. The strongest of the pairs, forget the number of pips, but the strongest of the pairs is the Australian yen, the Aussie yen, followed by the CAD yen and the dollar yen. Then you have the pound, and then you have the euro. So the way and all of them, they are giving us a strong reversal. So we had now a big reversal in the trade, so that the yen is a candidate for us to be looking at this evening getting into Tokyo. So the plan of action would be, number one, we want to be careful of, look at the those big moves. Having said that, we need to be waiting for a slight pullback before we enter the trade. But right now our bias is to be taking a long in the yen crosses. We will be looking to buy a currency and selling the yen opposite to it, but we want to make sure that when we decide to take that trade, our entry has to be after a pullback. You don't want to be buying the uptick, so you wait for a pullback and you take the when it begins to start moving to the upside. So we want to be focusing today on, in Tokyo session, number one, it is the Tokyo session, so by definition it's trading the Japanese yen, or the yen is a primary candidate. Two, it is the currency now that is showing the most reversal from the New York session. Alright, so wait for a pullback, take the breakout, and good luck.